long as we have faith in our cause
I'm Mike.
and unconquerable willpower,
I'm Dave.
salvation will not be denied us.
And this is Between the Lines.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
And we're back.
Hey,
How's everybody doing?
we are. I say we as if I'm a personal or multiple personalities over here. Me,
Well-
and this guy over here. That, as you can see right here.
Yeah.
Thumbs up if you see the other guy sitting next to me. I hear them all the time.
Last episode, we did an episode on symptoms of a larger problem.
We should just become Seinfeld. We did last week an episode on absolutely nothing.
Yeah, a podcast about nothing.
We would probably get more watches if
probably
we were
would get more
podcasts
views
about nothing.
instead of our usual nonsense. We'd probably get
Yeah.
probably get a lot more views. We did a podcast about basically just a slew of random issues that have been happening that formed a picture of a larger issue in our country, in society. So go back and check out that episode. I thought it was a pretty decent episode. Episode before that, we were talking about the midterms and how exciting that was, and so on and so forth. So go ahead and check out some of our old content. We've got so much out there on so many different platforms that if you can't find us, I think it's your fault at this point.
It is my fault. I agree.
Today, I think we're just going to do just some...
There's some very pressing matters at hand. Very pressing. Very disconcerting. I mean, my bowels haven't been right for the last day and a half because of this. I'm telling you, just nausea times infinity going on with this. I am completely and absolutely, utterly inundated with every foul, negative feeling that you can possibly. And I'll tell you why. Can you play this, Mike?
Yeah,
can you cue this thing up? Because
I'll
I
get
need
this
these
up for
people out there to know and feel my pain.
All right, let's get this up here. So what I'm playing here is there was a trailer released. I want to turn that down because that's hellaciously obnoxious. So a trailer released, and
Well, the show's on now. This is the trailer for said show,
Okay,
but
so
it's out there.
okay. All
I don't know. I can't remember how many episodes are out, but it's out there.
All right. Well,
The poison has been filtered into our water supply, folks.
so
It has.
I'm gonna bring this up here with Dave in the corner, just so that we can watch his reaction to this. But this is the new trailer for the new show on Disney Plus. They've rebooted Willow. For those that grew up in the 90s.
No, actually, I think it was the 80s when this came out.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure Willow was like late 80s, but
late 80s, and
because all the original actors are old as shit now.
it was about a little stout fella that did some stuff. But anyway, here's the trailer.
You think you know what is real and what isn't.
We're probably gonna get copyright strike for this trailer. I'm just gonna.
We just have to put my face in front of it.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm just gonna to avoid the copyright. I'm gonna just keep pausing every now and again and talking, and we'll switch screens.
1988.
Here.
1988.
So there's Dave.
I was 8 years old when this came out.
There's Dave. Just so that we can avoid copyright, we're gonna switch every once in a while. So.
What is light? What is dark? Now, forget all you know. Come with me.
I judge.
Comments so far?
I judge. Yes.
Yet you're not.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm holding it in right now.
All right. I mean, all
Like
right.
a really bad fart. I'm holding it in right now.
All right. Well, let's continue.
Yes, I'm okay with him. I'm okay with him.
Willow, I was told that once long ago you defeated the forces of evil.
You remind me of your mother.
My dear friend, I thought I could prevent all this. My brother was abducted. The world needs you again. It needs your magic.
Follow me. We must go.
Oh yeah, oh so epic. So heartwarming. So enthralling. Bullshit! Bullshit! That's a capital B with a lot of shit at the end.
I need your help.
Just like old times. Running.
See, they even got the I forget what they call them in the show, but they were originally in the movie.
Our true enemy is still out there. Rallying the forces of evil. The only thing standing in
Yeah,
its path
okay.
is us.
Ooh.
If you think
Ooh.
that very much.
Oh, wow, yes.
Tied up.
I don't know. See that?
All these comical, tongue-in-cheek characters
When I was a kid, I used to
should be
play
called
Peter
Disney
Force,
minus.
visiting strange worlds, fighting monsters. Never thought I'd actually really do it. What the hell is that?
Magic returned, huh? I had Mexican food that returned last night. Okay. Yep.
Last time
Oh, wow.
with my friends.
You know, if I were, yeah, Willow, thanks. If I, you know, if I were to judge the entire series based off the trailer alone, fantastic. There's not one fucking ounce of any of that happens in the show. Not one fucking ounce.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, it's like watching iCarly translated into Willow. It's like the worst teeny bop bullshit I've ever watched in a long
Wow.
time. It's just like Willow was something I connected to because it was something at my age. It was something I saw when I was around that age. It had Val Kilmer. It had, I can't remember the guy's name who plays Willow himself. I'm glad that they play homage to it. The acting is atrocious. The dialogue is atrocious. And let me put this in the context. This isn't just one begrudged or, you know, curmudgeon of a 1980s person commenting on this. MSN.com put out a thing. When Willow, the movie, came out in 1988, of course, they always do their Rotten Tomatoes and their reviews and everything. 53% rating by the critics. The critics hated it. They were like, meh, take it or leave it. The viewership, the audience approval rate was like 80 to 90% through the absolute freaking roof.
Yep.
This one comes out, this new turd of a series called Willow, which should be called Impotence. But anyways, it comes out and the critics give it a whopping 80% and the audience gives it a what? 35-40% rating.
Yep.
Let me guess, who matters more, the critics or the audience who are
that's-
actually watching this thing?
That's actually how I determine what movies I'm going to go see. Is I flip it on its ear, and if Rotten Tomatoes hates it, I'm probably going to like it.
Yeah. It's why do we even give a shit what the critics think anymore?
I've never paid attention to critics.
You know what?
Siskel and Ebert.
They were the only
bite
ones.
my thumb.
But
Even Siskel and Ebert back in
Yeah,
the day, even
it's
Siskel
true.
and Ebert back in the day, they put their thumb on the scales of the artsy fartsy movies.
Yeah.
And even though some of a lot of movies got snubbed by them just because of the actors that were in them or the content of the movie itself, which isn't how you should rate movies. You should rate movies on how much you enjoyed it and whether or not it was well put together and filmed and the acting was good and stuff like that. You shouldn't judge a movie by its content. You should judge it by how much you enjoyed it and stuff like
Well,
that.
it's about the character development. It's about how much you love the characters. I mean, that was the thing about Willow. It wasn't that great of a movie. Nobody's going to sit here and tell you that this was Amistad or that this was Schindler's List.
Yeah.
This was so far removed from that. But the characters, everybody absolutely loved the characters. the characters that they introduced into the new show, and granted, I've only watched one episode because I couldn't watch that much without getting indigestion. So the thing of it is that maybe I'll watch every episode and give you a little snippet of each episode leading up until the end of the season, just to let you know how disgusted I am with Disney's false attempt to create something.
How long are the episodes?
Standard 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So it's like they're trying to turn this into mini movies, like, because you figured the original Willow movie was done in an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half. Yeah. I mean, movies are now TV episodes, you know, if you think about it. We watch shows a lot differently now than we watched them then.
Because shows drop now a season at a time.
Exactly.
In most cases. So it's more like you're watching a longer movie, chopped up into different, and I like that better. Yeah, I do, because if you think about it, like, how would you have better digested the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
I was just going to actually bring that up.
Would it have been better to have three hour long movies, or maybe like 12?
Let's try 4.5 hour long movies,
because once the
director cut came out, we realized that these were like freaking.
So you could break each one of those movies. You could break up into an hour long. That's 4 episodes in each movie, and it would be much easier digested than it would be in that whole span of time.
Plus, I think it satisfies the viewership if it's done right, because it gives an ability for the director and the staff to flesh out the storylines
a little better.
So instead of like, you know, it's like, how did you jump from A to Z type of thing that you usually get when you're talking about movies like that.
Like another one that I know that you weren't a huge fan of it, but one that did that I think was good was Cobra Kai. I was a big fan of Karate Kid as a kid. Yeah. Cobra Kai's a little teeny. It's a little campy, but I like the way that they were able to, like, in the original Karate Kid movies, you really didn't get to dive into character arcs and things like that. It was just, okay, Daniel's getting picked on, he's going to be in a tournament, and this, that, you know, he's training, and so, I mean, you get that, but you don't really learn, you don't really understand Mr. Miyagi's backstory. You don't really understand that kind of stuff. And Cobra Kai, because it's now what you're trying to pack into 2 hours, because it's a 10 or a 13 episode season that's an hour long, now that's 13 hours. Yeah. You know what I mean? That you're stretching that out into, and you know, you can tell the story better. It's a little bit more of a robust story.
The thing with Willow is Willow was kind of a tongue-in-cheek type of movie to begin with. It was kind of goofy, but that was what you got with the 80s. Like, think of Big Trouble in Little China,
or Ghostbusters, or anything that
like,
came out in the 80s.
Every movie, but every single one of those movies captured like a place in people's minds.
Back to the Future was campy.
I mean, it's just like, but there was a piece about it that even though it wasn't super serious, it struck a nerve with people to where it just resonated until this far into the future.
Yeah.
Who knew
it still holds up?
Who knew that 40 years in the future that people would still love these movies?
Yeah.
And they would be like, directors would be like, well, maybe we need to do a reprisal because they were good to begin with.
That's exactly what's going on, is that people have said it, that people are afraid to do new content because new content is a 50-50 chance that it will flop. When you reboot content, that now goes to like 75-25. Because there's a 75% chance that you're going to make money off of it just from nostalgia alone.
But that's the thing, is like the money that they spend now versus the money that they spent then is absolutely not even close to, you know, it's insane the amount of money that goes into it.
We can all blame James Cameron for this.
It's
true. Really can, because
he started it.
Yep, with Titanic. Yep. When he did Titanic, he just blew the budget.
And
just
nothing
completely out of the
nothing
water.
Against Cameron, and he was a visionary.
And
when
not
it came
only
to
that, but as far as cinematography, the movie, you can judge the love story and the Jack and Rose, and 2 people could have fit on that fucking door. I'm just gonna throw that out there. They both could have lived. We didn't have to have the drama at the end, and she could have kept that big fucking necklace, and they could have lived big. They could have lived big for their entire life. all that aside, the cinematography.
Yeah.
The way that movie was filmed was absolutely stunning.
It was more
beautiful.
It was about the Titanic.
It was.
It was less about the two characters.
It really
and more about
was,
the Titanic.
and it was a love story to the ship itself.
Yep.
And I for one enjoy that because I grew up. My mom, Ma, I love you. Shout out to Ma. She was a Titanic nut. Her email address is still Titanic G. Titanic G at I don't something.
The OG Titanic lover.
Yeah, it stood for Titanic Granny because she.
That's fine.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
But her email address is now. Don't go spamming my mom's email address. I'm not going to tell you whether it was Gmail, Yahoo, whatever. But at any rate, but that's how I grew up with the Titanic.
She should get a domain. And
she
should get a domain called Titanic.com.
But yeah, like she built models of the Titanic. She had books all over the house.
That's crazy.
She would put like portholes. She had like a mirror that looked like it was a port window.
That's cool.
So I mean, like my mom loved it. So when Titanic came out, when we went to theaters to see it, like it was. I remember seeing it in theaters, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it was out of this world.
I remember when they were talking about the movie, how long it took for them to break even.
Yeah.
Because it took a while before, because I think at that time it was what? How much did they spend on it? I think it was like $300 million or something.
Like that.
Which is a lot of money to spend on anything.
But that's one of the only movies. In fact, I think, if I think back, that may be the only movie that I've seen in theaters more than once.
Yes.
Because I did go back to see that movie because Titanic nut. I always loved the story.
Theaters should do more of that. They should take some of the good classics that were good on, and I know that some of them are trying to do that in some regards. But I mean, why just reserve it to a once only type of event? I mean, you figure it's like kids weren't. If movie theaters really want to establish their relevance in this day and age. You know, what for me, going to movie theaters, like I think drive-in theaters have been given an opportunity.
They've had a big renaissance in the drive-in.
I mean, think about it. It's like if you're somebody that really doesn't like sitting next to other people, and
COVID did that.
Yeah, but at the same time, drive-ins were before all that scare was a thing. Yeah. So I mean, this opens up an opportunity to kind of strike a happy medium with moviegoers and people that are kind of like, I want to go to the movies, but I don't want to sit next to Jeremy McJermanson. Yeah. You know, but
and I've always been that way. Like when I go to the movie theaters, if it's going to be a movie where it's going to be packed, and I want to see it opening weekend, I'll go at like 7 a.m. on a Sunday. You know what I mean, or something like that.
It's dark inside, so it doesn't matter.
I'm the only one in the theater. Me and the little guy did that for Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I kind of wish that we would have went for the bigger premiere where the theater was a little bit more full, because that was the first time I've ever had a group theater experience at the theater. Like every time I've ever gone to the theater before, it was always like, I'm sitting there watching the movie with 100 other people that are just sitting there watching the movie. But when we went to see Ghostbusters Afterlife, everybody in the theater was in on it. Yeah. If that makes any sense to you at all. Like when Venkman came on screen, like there was people that would hoot and holler and they would whistle when they found the crunch spoiler alert. When they found the crunch bar in the glove box, everybody in the theater was whistling and hooting and hollering, because like we caught, as a group collective, we were catching all of the little Easter eggs in the movie, and we all realized that everybody that was in there watching that movie was as big of a fan of Ghostbusters as the other person that was sitting there, and it was really cool.
It reminds me kind of the opposite, the antithesis to that enjoyment when I watched The Happening.
Oh God!
With Mark Wahlberg. I
was in the theater to see that.
Does anybody remember this M. Night Shyamalan film called The Happening?
What a garbage movie!
Where basically trees and plants turned against the
trees. Did it run away from the wind? Yeah, because have you ever heard the phrase "run like the wind"? Because the wind is fucking fast.
Sounds like something that Christopher Walken would say. It's fast.
It's fast.
But I remember sitting in the theaters when that came out, because I was an M. Night Shyamalan fan.
Yeah.
I'm admittedly an M. Night Shyamalan fan.
Like, yeah.
Mainly
Love the
because
twists.
I'm from Pennsylvania, and just about every movie he does, I think every movie he does, has
Everyone
some kind
so
of a
far
Pennsylvania location.
It's been in Pennsylvania, everyone
but
so far.
sort of like Stephen King in Maine. But, you know, one of the things that was absolutely hilarious about that film was one of the audience members. Is I'm sitting there watching the film. This dude, this 6'2", 6'3" guy standing in the front of it, quiet as a mouse through the entire movie, and then the movie ends. That dude proceeds to stand up, take a long 180-degree survey of the entire audience membership there that afternoon or whenever it was, looks at him deeply with all the emotion he can muster and says, "Man, that is some straight bullshit." And I'm going to say to you today, if you were sitting in here as an audience watching Willow, the first episode of Willow this week, I would stand up in all my 5'10" greatness and survey you with all the emotion I can muster and tell you with every fiber of my being that, dude, that is some straight out bullshit. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Disney Plus, but you're a bunch of twats for ruining this piece of my childhood.
That's exactly how I feel.
I'm not mad at the people they brought back. I'm glad that they brought the people back. But the people that they brought into it and the dialogue and the situational things that they brought into this just completely obfuscated the entire catch of this TV show, the movie. It's like I was excited because I didn't even know about it. Like I was like, what the hell? What the ever living hell? They brought Willow back, and I was like, yeah. And then I get into it, I was like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, I'm so mad. I can't express the deep, in-seated anger that just. Okay, I'm done.
I think we all get. I think we after this much. Of the
I need
episode,
a fucking
I think we
whiskey.
all
I need a
understand.
whiskey. Give me some whiskey.
I think
need
we're
a
all.
whiskey.
I think we're all well on board of how angry this makes you.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna be
Lord.
honest. But this is exactly how I felt about the 2016 Ghostbusters with the girls in it, and it had nothing to do. Before you get on the fucking comments and start saying that I'm sexist, it has nothing to do with them being women.
It was just bad.
I was excited about it
Yeah.
being women. I thought, all right, this is going to be cool. It's a fresh take. All these people are funny. It might be good. And I went to theaters to see it, and it was not. It was not good at all. And they threw in jokes that had no point, and the storyline didn't even seem to be connected.
Exactly.
And they forced everything. Everything was forced.
The thing of it is, too, is that the actors that they picked, like Jenny McCarthy and
Melissa McCarthy.
Sorry.
Jenny McCarthy as a Ghostbuster. I mean, I would actually probably pay to see that. But
hey, sorry.
Jenny McCarthy as a Ghostbuster.
It's the first
It probably would have made a better movie.
It's the first Ghostbusters to make it on the front of Sports Illustrated.
That's right.
The swimsuit edition.
Hustler would cover it.
But who's the girl from SNL? The girl that the one comedian.
There was actually a couple of them. Kristen Wiig.
Yes,
she played the quote unquote the main character, and then
she was like the Egon.
I can never remember the other girl's name. It always escapes me. The one that played Egon.
Yeah. The point is that they weren't bad cast. It was just badly written.
Yes.
Bad dialogue.
Too much ad-libbing.
It's the writer's fault. It's the writer and the director's fault.
They let the actors run rampant on it, and it just was not. It was not. And then Chris Hemsworth was in it.
Yeah.
As he played Janine. Speaking of
Chris Hemsworth, have you watched The Witcher at all?
I have not.
You know what The Witcher is, right?
I've played the video game a couple times.
It's a phenomenal. It's well, I don't want to say it's a phenomenal.
Phenomenal
story.
is a big word.
Let's say optionally phenomenal. Let's say that. How's that? It's optionally phenomenal. But the story is pretty. They got Cavill, Mark Cavill, the guy who plays Superman.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, because I love the video game. I've never read the books. My wife started reading the books and hated the books because it seemed like they were just very discombobulated, like nothing kind of, it's like they would jump around from one
Yeah.
thing to the other. But anyways, overall, the story grabs people. There's something about the character that just really grabs people. But anyways, Mark Cavill, when they said he was going to play The Witcher, I was like, I can't really see it. But then when they casted him, I was like, oh my gosh, he's Witcher. Like, he's Witcher.
He does a good job.
He's like spot on. Like, he was the quintessential build. His acting was spot on with the character. Now, he's apparently not coming back for season 4 for The Witcher. Guess who's going to be season 4 Witcher potentially? You just said his name.
Oh, no.
Chris Hemsworth.
No.
Yes. And everybody was like, what the ever living? So you know where that show's going to go.
Yeah.
You know.
And just real quick, I apologize for anyone that noticed I'm having a little bit of a sinus thing. So if I have anything nasal during the, I really do apologize for anyone that's off put by that. I just can't help it. We fired up the wood stove in my house, and my sinuses are going.
I have
crazy.
to apologize too. I have a bowel issue today because I watched The Willow. Did I mention that already? I just wanted to let everybody know it's like that. If there's some sudden discomfort that overpowers me during the course of this podcast, I just wanted to let you know The Willow, just took hold like bad lettuce at Moe's on the weekend. Have you ever had that instance where Moe's serves you frozen lettuce inside,
that's filled with
and
dysentery,
and then you puke and fart and all other sorts of nasty stuff during the. Anyways, I'm sorry, I digress. But yeah, Mark Cavill.
Speaking of Mark Cavill, you know what I watched yesterday?
What's that?
The original Superman.
Oh, it was Christopher Reeves. Yes.
And
still classic.
Oh my God, he is the best Superman.
Yep.
He is still, to this day, the best Superman.
His
graphics are horrible.
Yes, they are, and
absolutely atrocious,
campy and very cliche and blah blah blah.
He is the best Superman, and let me just say that man got into some shape for that movie.
Yes, he did. And the thing of it is his Superman, the way I would say, it kind of compares in some ways to the Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form. Only it's more 80s and less 60s and 70s with the bright colors and the big, props and everything, like the shark and whatnot. But I actually got to see Chris Reeves live right before he passed away. He gave
post wheelchair.
Very smart guy, but he gave a lecture at the University of Penn years ago.
UPenn.
And I was invited to be a part of that, and I got to see him live, in person, before. He was a tall guy.
Yeah, he was.
Holy cow, he was like
6'3"?
Yeah,
6'3", 6'4"?
He was a big dude.
Yeah.
But
why he's a good Superman.
But he was an
Superman's tall guy.
Awesome guy. He never acted in a lot.
No.
He only did I think he did a cop show or movie for a while.
Show. There was like a not a rom-com, but more of like a romantic drama.
Okay.
That he was in before Superman.
Yep.
And then obviously 4 Superman movies, some of which are better than others. But 4 Superman movies, and I love me some Chris Reeves.
Well, it's like I would say that the most, and I don't remember which one it is. Is it the first one where he fights the 4 Kryptonians or the 3 Kryptonians?
That's the second one.
I would say that for me is probably one of the better ones.
That's one of the better ones.
And interesting.
Is that the second one or the third one? I think it's the second one.
So, and interesting enough, the Mark Hamill Mark Cavill. Mark Hamill.
That'd be an interesting Superman.
But for me,
I was gonna go get some power inverters.
That would be freaking hilarious. But I actually liked the Man of Steel, the new reprisal. It was really good. Yep. Now DC is very hit or miss. Mm-hmm. Like Zack Snyder's 4-hour-long diatribe on the Justice League was an absolute fucking turd. I'm sorry, but that just
Justice League. The Snyder cut, the movie was bad.
Yeah, it was just
the movie itself was bad. The Snyder cut was worse.
And for me, I'm sorry, Ben Affleck, but you're not Batman.
I would like to find a way to make this movie more boring. Let's see what we can throw in an extra 2 hours of dialogue.
It was like Lord of the Rings without any of the Lord and any of the rings.
Yeah,
it was just
with no purpose whatsoever.
But
Ben Affleck, I'll give you this. Wasn't wasn't the best. Wasn't the best Batman. He also wasn't the worst.
Yeah, he was like a meh.
He wasn't the worst. He was an okay. I'm gonna do the Spider-Man thing. He was a very good Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Ben Affleck was a very good Bruce Wayne.
I'll get that.
Not a very convincing Batman.
I would say the same for like, even though I'm a big fan of Christian Bale.
Yeah.
He wasn't a big Bruce Wayne. He
No.
was a good Batman.
He was a very good Batman
in the dark universe that Christopher Nolan envisioned.
Very good portrayal of Batman.
I'll agree to that.
Not a great Bruce Wayne. And I always say that that's how I judge my Spider-Mans too. Like Tobey Maguire was the best Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, in my opinion, was the best Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland is a very good combination of both.
Yeah.
I agree. He's a decent Peter Parker and a decent Spider-Man. But I think and then when they brought them all together in the new one, I can't remember what the name of the movie is now. There's Far From Home or No Way Home is what it's called. All 3 Spider-Mans are in that movie, and it's epic.
Yeah,
and it's cool that the way that they interact with each other and whatnot.
It's good because what it does is, given the nature of how movies are nowadays, that everybody has a rewrite and everybody has a re-imaging. It's like with Edward G. Patterson as Batman in the latest one.
Wasn't bad.
But, I mean, when I heard...
Not my favorite.
All I could think in the back of my head was Twilight.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I could think in the back of my head. That's why it was hard for me.
He's typecast.
I haven't watched it yet. I
it's
still
like,
haven't watched it.
Have you watched Weird? The Weird Al story with Daniel Radcliffe?
No.
Daniel Radcliffe plays Weird Al. Harry Potter plays Weird Al.
Yeah, that's...
it's good. It's funny. It's absolutely 100% not serious.
Okay.
Whatsoever.
Well, it's Weird Al.
They in the movie, Michael Jackson steals the idea for bad from Weird Al's fat, or vice versa, one of the two. Eat It.
So it's tongue in cheek.
Michael Jackson stole Eat It to write Beat It.
Just eat it.
Yeah, and Weird Al is an assassin for the CIA and takes down a drug cartel. And that's that.
Is Weird Al actually in it at all?
He's in the beginning. Like he does like an intro monologue to the movie about how the movie is entirely accurate and it's on par with the brand.
Yeah.
It's 100% on par with the brand. The point I'm trying to make is I said all that. I got the same vibe from that movie because the entire time in my brain I was thinking, why is Harry Potter playing playing Weird Al?
I don't know why. That's kind of a weird casting to me.
Yeah. He looks.
Does he?
I mean,
I'll have to watch it.
When they get the hair and the glasses on him, I mean, he looks like a younger. Younger Weird Al. They get the mustache on him.
The one thing, I mean, with Radcliffe is he's got some interesting rapping skills.
Really?
Did you ever watch him rap at all? He's very creative. He did what was it? He did a rap on I
cannot picture that at all.
All the elements, like on the elemental table, he did a rap to that.
Oh wow!
And he like spit them out like he's got a phenomenal memory. Like he's got like a really good memory, which makes him a halfway decent actor in certain
all
contexts.
His lines are like right there.
But anyways, neither here nor there. But
I mean, I'm all about it. Good
I just can't picture him as Weird Al. That's all. But anyways, yeah.
Neither could I. But I sat through the movie because I love Weird Al. I've been a Weird Al fan my whole life, and I actually saw Weird Al live, and I'll give him that. Now he did a really good job. What I will say is it's very, 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 very obvious that he's lip syncing.
Oh. Oh really?
Yeah.
To the songs.
To Weird Al actually singing the songs.
But
he's lip syncing underneath Weird Al, which
at
the same time that kind of adds to it because having Daniel Radcliffe trying to re-sing Weird Al's got a very unique nasally voice.
He does, but they've done a lot of music movies
where they've gotten close, like Bohemian Rhapsody.
That was
phenomenal.
That was one of the best,
if not the best.
I watched the one about
Rocket Man wasn't.
No, I didn't. I didn't feel that one, and plus the story didn't grab me at all.
Not like Bohemian Rhapsody. I really was into Bohemian Rhapsody.
That was good. That was really good.
Yeah, and thank you. Queen has actually said this. Mike Myers resurrected their career because of Wayne's World.
Oh,
that scene in Wayne's World where they play Bohemian Rhapsody resurrected.
That's what they need to
Queen's
do. They
career.
need to. See, the thing is like there are certain movies you don't touch.
Yeah.
And there are some movies that I'd be
It's
like,
okay.
that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're not like trying to recrecate something
Or change it 100%.
They could bring back Wayne's World.
Oh, I would,
with Mike and with Dana.
I would totally watch them as
just make
adults.
them older, just like Bill and Ted's event.
Like Bill and Ted, that was great. It wasn't a great story.
No,
it wasn't.
But it was never a great story.
But I
to begin
enjoyed
with.
it. I enjoyed exactly. That's exactly the point. Some movies, they're not. Some movies aren't supposed to be.
No.
Like works of art.
Nope.
They're not supposed to be. They're not. Not every movie's meant to get an Oscar.
Yep.
It's just not. And I loved Bill and Ted for what it was.
Yep.
It was just a fun movie that had no brains to it.
Yep.
I mean, it all made sense, but
Yeah.
it was not some philosophical.
Well,
I mean,
I love
because
Keanu.
Socrates was in it.
I love
but-
Keanu Reeves. I mean, I just love him as a person, but he's not exactly Anthony Hopkins.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he's done some good work.
Yeah.
He's had there was a I don't want to say horror, but it was more of a thriller movie called The Watcher, where he plays like a serial killer. And
Don't remember that.
Check it out. It's really
okay.
It's really interesting seeing him play the dark side. There's another movie called The Gift. This lady has a psychic ability, and he plays like this redneck wife abuser that beats his wife. Keanu Reeves does.
Is that the one with?
It's not. I always want to say Sandra Bullock, but it's not Sandra Bullock. It's like a Costco Sandra Bullock.
No, I'm thinking of another movie, but there's like a mystery thriller that he's in, but it's the girl that plays. Is it Kate Blanchett?
Maybe
the one that plays in Lord of the Rings.
I think it is.
I don't
remember her name, and I'm not good with
Kate Blanchett. You remember she's the one that plays, and the reason why this is fresh on my mind is because I just watched The Rings of Power on Amazon.
Okay.
But Kate Blanchett plays the original Galadriel, the White Witch as they call her inside Lord of the Rings.
Let me just look up the movie real quick.
Kate Blanchett.
Man, that keyboard was just bouncing all over the damn place.
Yeah.
Is it?
So this is Kate Blanchett. She plays the White Witch in the original Lord of the Rings. I think they call her White Witch.
They made a new movie called The Gift in 2015. That's not the one that I'm talking about. The one that I'm talking about was from 2001?
Yeah, it was in
2000.
Yeah.
And
The Gift.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that's Kate Blanchett.
Okay. It was actually written by Billy Bob Thornton.
Ah, okay.
And it was directed by Sam Raimi, the same guy that directed
Kate
Spider-Man.
Blanchett, Giovanni Ribisi, and Keanu Reeves, Katie Holmes.
So
I saw that. I've been wanting to watch that.
Keanu Reeves plays Donnie Barksdale, who's some redneck wife abuser who's accused of killing his wife, and he does. The point is he does a really good job in this movie. Like, he convinces you that he's a piece of shit redneck, and he doesn't have that California,
Yeah.
He doesn't. It's really, really good. My point is he can play that dark character. It's fun to see people people know Keanu Reeves for Bill and Ted. They know Keanu Reeves for Point Break.
Yeah.
They know Keanu Reeves for The Matrix. These roles where he plays this.
But they're memorable. They're not great, but they're memorable. But they
are.
Yeah.
but he also has it in him to do these other roles.
Yeah.
What's the one where obviously not Speed. I know Speed. Sandra Bullock. I think it's Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, and there's a mailbox, and like he's writing to her from the past.
Oh.
And she goes to the mailbox to get
it's something, some soldiers.
But
stories,
that one's really good too.
There's one that's a little less known that he's in where he manages an intercity baseball league. Hardball.
That is one of my favorite movies of all time. That movie will if that movie does not tear at your heartstrings, you have no heart.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
That's a great movie. I love it when you call me Big Papa.
But he plays a pretty good character in that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty.
I love the ending of that movie where he, spoiler alert, just he plays a guy that's addicted to gambling, and he can't get past this addiction to gambling, and finally, because of these kids, he's able to.
Yeah,
it's kind of soapy.
Yeah,
but it's a good movie.
Yeah,
you need those movies.
Yeah,
you need those movies to remind you that there is hope in humanity. You know?
Not everything has to be Christopher Nolan's outlook on life.
Not everything is just dark, and I mean, life does have some light spots.
We've tried. I mean, I think there for a while, like we hit the spot where every movie has to be dark.
Yeah,
and it's good to some extent because it's good to balance it out.
Well,
it's like eating sweets all your life.
It reminds me of the 90s was the opposite. Like in the 90s, movies kind of got predictable.
Yeah.
Where you had, I'll give you an example. Did you ever think that the Mighty Ducks were going to lose?
No.
Exactly. Exactly. They're like, you knew how. I mean, I'm going to borrow from Bill Burr a little bit. Did you? We all know how that movie's going to go. They're gonna go. They're gonna try to play the sport, and they're not going to be good at it.
We should see if we can take the scripts from the Mighty Ducks and run them through that AI
and make them dark.
It's like
write the Mighty Ducks as if it was written by Christopher Nolan.
All the Mighty Ducks characters end up becoming homeless, and they
write the Mighty Ducks as if it was directed by Christopher Nolan or by Michael Bay. The whole ice rink blows up. They're skating through a ball of fire,
and there's lens flares. The lens flares. You need lens flares.
Quick cuts to Liam Neeson fighting people in the background.
And then after the movie's done, have the pitch guy do a pitch meeting about it. It's like lens flares. Oh my! Yes. No. Wow.
I love that. Go check out Pitch Meeting on YouTube.
That's what somebody should make it their life's goal to rewrite every movie just in complete antithetical rewrite of the movie, not even trying to attempt anything.
As if
Like, let's take The Notebook. Let's take The Notebook and let's flip it on its head.
Written by Alfred Hitchcock.
Roald Dahl or Alfred Hitchcock.
Birds start.
They're in the boat and they're in the boat, and that's that quintessential scene, and then all of a sudden the monster from the lagoon comes up,
reaches up,
and then Rob Zombie takes over.
That'd be The Notebook written by Rob Zombie. That would be epic.
That would be the best rewrite ever.
Somebody really should do that. That would be like the greatest.
Are you listening? Yeah. Are you listening, people out there? If anybody's like an upstarting director,
we should do that, man. Somehow figure out how we could do that. If anyone has any ideas on how to make movies or anything like that, get in touch with us. We'll help write the scripts and everything. That'd be a moneymaker right there.
Hey, we could start a scripting or a casting company called Between the Lines.
Between the Lines.
Yeah.
there you go. That's what actors do. They read between the lines.
Yep.
But that would be hilarious. That'd be a really funny thing to do, is like movie mashups like that. Jurassic Park, but written by Disney.
Jeez. Well,
the Tyrannosaurus Rex breaks out into a song about how nobody understands him.
My hands are so...
my hands are too short. Who's the guy that does the songs for Toy Story?
Oh,
I can never remember his name, but the dinosaurs broke the fence, and now they're walking around the park. He ain't the lawyer. Oh my God, it'd be so great.
He took a bite out of the president, and now now he's half off.
The Raptors are loose. What you gonna do?
There's people screaming. They're running. Run. It's in New York City again.
Oh, I love it.
Crime doesn't matter because they're all dead. The Raptors are loose again.
Oh, it'd be so great.
Oh my gosh.
This
is that would be absolutely. It's like when they had him on Family Guy or some dude making. It's like
takes a bite,
takes another bite. That was a good episode.
Oh man,
but
that would be. I'm on board. I'm on board with this wholeheartedly.
I absolutely love this episode. And you know what it reminds me? It reminds me of one thing. Willow sucks. Don't go and mess up my childhood, Disney Plus. Fucking Disney Plus. You're lucky I don't pay for you.
Well, they're ruining Star Wars. Why shouldn't they be able to ruin everything else?
And I don't pay for you, just so you don't try to sue me. I don't pay for you because I get it through Verizon. So there, it's legal.
So how the hell do we wrap this? Like, what's the synopsis of today's?
We could
episode?
wrap it by running it through that. We could run our entire script through the Snoop Dogg raps.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, there's a new AI chat out there where you can type writing prompts into the AI and it'll just spit something out.
Oh yeah,
it's absolutely
it's freaky.
incredible.
It's pretty spot on.
It's insane,
but
it's
typically
terrifying.
Dark. Typically dark.
Yeah, we've been running some things through it just to see what you put through it, and essentially what it does is you give it a prompt. And maybe I can bring it up here.
Yeah, bring it up
while we're talking.
We got to preview this for Can you grab a snippet of like a script or something?
What I'll do is I'll have it create something right on the spot here. I just got to look up the URL for it.
Here, I'll send it over to you.
I should. Well, I have it right here. It's going to be real quick for me to get to it.
So for those of you that don't know what we're talking, AI is a scary futuristic thing that isn't human but thinks like a human in some regards, but it's Skynet. Basically, we're talking about Skynet here is what it comes down to. Speaking of Skynet,
yeah.
Have you ever seen the Christian Bale remake of The Terminator, called Salvation? That was a weird one. It wasn't bad, but that was a weird one. It was like Arnold Schwarzenegger, his only casting in that entire film was he was a robot on the production line. So he was like, they were making mass Arnold Schwarzeneggers. So just imagine that many Arnold Schwarzeneggers out there running various states. I can't imagine. I can't. We're running.
So I got it up here.
Here we go.
I'm just gonna bring this.
Here
up.
we go.
So this is what the interface looks like. It's just a simple interface. And down here you've got a chat bar. So you can just tell it, like, one of the first things I typed in was write a poem about sausage.
That's a poem.
Oh, so you got to spell it right, or else the computer won't know what the hell you're talking about.
Of course, it might come back with something.
It might be hilarious. But you write a poem about sausage. All you do is hit go, and it will write you a poem.
Sausage, oh sausage, how tasty and fine. You're a versatile food that is hard to define. With your mix of flavors and your delightful twist, you're a culinary delight that we can't resist. In a burn or on a plate, you're always a hit. Oh, I said burn.
Yeah,
Whether grilled or fried, you're always a treat. With your satisfying taste and your satisfying crunch, you are a delicious addition to any meal or lunch. So here's a toast to sausage, our favorite food. Long may you reign, oh tasty and good.
I mean, that's
pretty. Yeah, I couldn't even come up with that in a spot.
No way. That would take me 4 hours to write something like that about sausage, and they just did it in 4 seconds. And then you could tell it to redo, but as Dr. Seuss. Did I spell that right?
Seus.
Seu?
I think it. Yeah.
Dr. Seuss.
I believe. I could be wrong.
Let's see if the spell checker knows. Yep.
Seu. Yeah. Okay. I was just trying to do it.
Redo, but as Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I can see it. Sausage with Sanchez of Wait, is that the same?
No, it's not. You can actually scroll up.
It is a little.
They're
yeah.
different.
Yeah, it is different.
It's almost like the very opening line is the same, but sausage, oh sausage, so plump and so round, you're the best food ever to be found.
What
your
if
flavor is savory, your texture divine, you make every meal a delicious time. So I mean,
but the thing of it is you can combine different thoughts. Like I could throw in there, black matter and dinosaurs and apocalyptic. You know, you can just throw random thoughts in there, and it. I think
about this?
you think you have to set the condition first, like write a story or write a. Like the other day, I typed into it, write an anecdote about blah blah blah, and it spit out
a short story of Jurassic Park, but by Disney.
Jeez. Sounds things take a turn for the worse when the park's secure. Blah blah blah. The group must be used.
Oh, so it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Nah.
Well, that was boring.
Let's type in here, short story of Willow by Disney Plus. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, this completely went off the rails. That's not even close.
You know, I probably could have watched this one.
Yeah.
I'm just perusing over the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have watched this.
So here's one that I did.
Hey,
that I thought
Disney.
was cool.
Disney, you see this on the screen? Better than your bullshit.
Write a.
You know what? We'll probably, if we can get the developers to dump their history, we'll probably find Disney is probably on here. The writers are inputting their criteria. They don't actually write anything anymore.
Set in.
Jeez. It's crazy.
Yeah. But that's what's cool about this is it just.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not. You saw what I prompted in there. All I write a Ghostbusters sequel set in Pennsylvania, and it just.
What's crazy is how fast it is.
Does it?
Why don't we put a hypothetical in there? Like, what if?
Okay.
Right. What if Abraham Lincoln or John F. Kennedy never died?
Okay.
Would it be write a hypothetical?
Write a hypothetical story of what the U.S. would be like if Kennedy was never everybody's getting to see my atrocious typing and spelling skills. Write a hypothetical story of what the U.S. would be like if Kennedy was never assassinated.
Let's see what it...
Boom.
Jeez. Holy shit. This is crazy, this statement right here. It is also likely that Kennedy would have faced significant opposition from within his own party, as many Democrats were unhappy with his liberal stance on social issues. This opposition would have led to a more divisive political climate with
more infighting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This one also kind of takes me, without Kennedy's assassination, it's possible that civil rights movement would have been made at even greater strides. The Vietnam War, on the other hand, might have been escalated even further, as Kennedy was known for his hawkish foreign policy.
That's crazy.
Because he was kind of a war hawk.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Bay of Pigs.
Yeah. But he also staved off the Cuban crisis.
He did.
So it wasn't, I wouldn't call him a warmonger.
He wasn't a monger, but he certainly was hawkish.
Yeah.
For sure. He was not afraid.
Yeah.
He was certainly not afraid to go to that length if he needed to. This is insane. This is insane.
Imagine this kind of data being
yeah.
What
would the U.S. be like if Lincoln... I forgot the L. Lincoln.
We should put Blinken.
Survived.
Remember Blinken from Men in Tights? Reconstruction and Saudi abolition would have all been effective, I think. That's kind of general.
Yeah, that is kind of generic. Not as good as the Kennedy response.
Yeah, that was a lot more in-depth.
Yeah, the Kennedy response.
It makes me... I guess what it is that it draws from texts of opinions that
the other limitation is it only has language data, which I would assume means that it probably has access to like novels and books and things that have been written.
Yeah.
Because it's a language model, so it only has information on language. For instance, if you say, ask it for an opinion or something like that, it'll tell you I can't do that. What is the best song ever written?
Yeah.
And it'll be like,
it's just very general.
Yeah. Actually, that's not even... Okay. What is your... I'm horrible at this. What is your favorite song? It won't be... There you go. As a large language model... I'm going to switch the screen here. As a large language model trained by OpenAI, I do not have personal preferences, including favorite songs. My purpose is to provide information and answer questions to the best of my ability based on the input I receive.
You should write... Is Disney Plus's reboot of Willow a piece of shit?
Is the Willow reboot good? How about that? Reboot. I'm horrible at this. I'm sorry, I'm not able to browse. Oh, yeah, because it only has information up until 2021. So it has no idea that it even exists. So it's in a better world than we are.
Just make a declaration to it. Say, Willow, the Disney Willow reboot is a piece of shit.
The Disney...
And just see if it comments on it.
Yeah, so it has no idea.
Nah, that's a cop-out answer. Boo!
But here's what I thought was cool. Do Americans have the right to own firearms.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
pretty standard fare.
Yeah. What is an assault? We'll do rifle. What is an assault rifle?
Yeah. This is something that had Numbnuts, a.k.a. our president, utilized. He may have had a better answer.
See, now, I'm going to argue with this because it says these rifles typically have detachable magazines and the ability to switch between semi-automatic and automatic firing mode, which the AR-15 does not. So, is the AR-15 an assault weapon? And I think this is where it starts to contradict itself. The term assault weapon is controversial and somewhat unclear term, and its definition can vary depending upon who you ask. In general, however, an assault weapon is a type of firearm that is designed for rapid fire and the use of intermediate cartridges. By this definition, the AR-15 could be considered an assault weapon.
It's not definitive.
Exactly.
It just
But in the prior answer, it says some examples of assault rifles include the AR-15 and the AK-47. So you could tell what I'm getting at is they're and it even warns you about this. There are biases in the answers that it gives dependent upon
the material,
information that it was given. So if I reset this thread up here, you can see right here, may occasionally produce harmful instructions or biased content. So I mean,
that's funny. But yeah, I mean it's like anything, garbage in, garbage out, good stuff in, good stuff out. It's still a machine, essentially.
Write a hypothetical.
How did we go from movies to like?
We do this. It's a rabbit hole. Write a hypothetical constitution for the fictional country of Claytonia. Yes, I can't spell my own name. Write a hypothetical constitution for the fictional country of Claytonia. Oh, I gotta hit the...
Oh my God. You gotta be freaking kidding me.
See, now, if they had this in 1776, it wouldn't have taken them 10 years. Isn't this... I mean, I'm flabbergasted by
But you
this.
can see it's drawing on one specific...
It is drawing specifically from our Constitution.
Because it says, Claytonia shall be vested United States, so...
Now, here's the other thing, is it's not. Because I see some shades of like the UK's. They don't call it a constitution, and neither does Canada. But I see, like right there, the legislative power shall be vested in a parliament, which shall consist of two houses: the House of Representatives and the Senate.
Well, it's just a.
So I mean,
terminology's a general.
Chosen every second year, 2 senators from each state, and they do use United States of Claytonia, which is awesome. Powers and duties of the president, the Army and Navy of Claytonia, which is the greatest Army and Navy of anywhere. Everyone says
except
this.
for Space Force.
Everyone says this. It's the greatest Army and the greatest Navy You can ask anyone. It's general knowledge. Judiciary. Yeah, I mean, but my thing is in 30 seconds, it just created a constitution. Full faith and credit. What is this? Full faith and credit shall be given to each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state. Huh. I don't know what that means. Powers of each state have the power to regulate its own internal affairs subject to the provisions of this Constitution. Huh. But I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
It's crazy that it can think on its own. I mean, it's thinking. I mean, if you think about it, human beings are basically, opinions are can be as fickle or as definitive depending on what kind of subject matter you have ingested.
Maybe I'm just being the tinfoil hat guy, but this terrifies me. I'm going to be honest with you. It terrifies me.
If it becomes mobile.
Because this is artificial intelligence, and this has been scripted. But this is very close. If it could start, if this model was able to retain its information, and then from the inputs it was given, adapt and learn from the inputs that it's given, that would push it to the realm of general intelligence, which I have no problem with artificial intelligence. I have a problem with artificial general intelligence. And we're going to have another episode.
Yeah.
We're going to have another episode on this.
We already did one.
We did, but we need to update that because we're pushing into a realm where artificial intelligence will, and I'm not saying I'm saying it will, artificial intelligence will surpass human intelligence.
At some point.
It will.
Yeah.
It will. And when it does, are we going to be able to contain it? If it's smarter than us, are we going to be able to contain it? And that's the whole Skynet argument, is at what point is it going to decide that we're our own worst enemies?
As long as Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Connors are alive, I think there's hope.
I think we're all right. Especially he owns his own tank, but
yeah, it's true.
So this episode was really about nothing.
This episode was brought to you by a piece of shit TV show called Willow.
If you take anything from this episode, Willow is horrible, I guess, is the general consensus of this episode. The new Willow is horrible.
If you hate Willow, please do thumbs up for our...
I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I'm going to be perfectly honest. I didn't even like the original Willow. But it wasn't because I thought it was a bad show. I never got into the story, and I don't even really know what it was about. I know the little guy.
Yeah.
But that's all I know about it, and Val Kilmer was in it, and that's all I got. Because I'm a huge fan of Val Kilmer. I love, mostly for Doc Holliday in Tombstone.
Yeah, that was a solid movie.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry.
That's just my game.
That was...
I have not even begun to defile myself. I love that movie.
It is one of the better ones.
Kate, you're not wearing a bustle. How rude.
Kurt Russell and
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
I mean, it's
a good cast.
Bill Pullman.
Yes.
Yeah,
no.
Is it Bill Pullman or Bill? It's one of the Bills.
Yes.
Bill Pullman or Bill.
Not Pullman. Gosh, I can't think of his name.
Yep, we're gonna have to look it up.
Tombstone.
Because I know it's one of the Bills. There's two of them that are in everything, and they look the same.
Gosh, we were trying to wrap
1993.
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton. It was one of the Bills. I knew it. Bill Pullman is the one that is in Twister.
I didn't realize that Heston was.
Oh yeah, he plays. He's not in the movie until the very end, and he's in the movie for maybe 5 minutes.
Gotcha.
He helps. Doc Holliday gets injured, and they give him a bed to sleep in because he's sick. But I mean, Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, Sam Elliott, Bill Paxton, Charlton Heston. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's all kinds of... Billy Bob Thornton was in it. He played Johnny Tyler. That was like one of his first roles. Nobody even really knew who he was back then.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good movie. I mean, just hands down, it was a good movie.
Yep.
It's crazy to think how old some of these actors are now. Kurt Russell's in his 70s.
Wyatt Earp, the descendant of Wyatt Earp, his name is actually Wyatt Earp, was actually in the movie and played Billy Claiborne.
No kidding.
Yep.
I didn't see that.
So anyway, Tombstone's a great movie.
Yeah.
Love that. That's why I like Val Kilmer, is because of that movie. So go back and check out some of our old episodes.
I just found this on Fox News. Val Kilmer forced to back out of Willow role due to health concerns.
Yeah, he did get sick, so he saved himself from that.
Piece of shit.
If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below. Let us know what you thought of this episode, whether you think AI is going to destroy humanity or if it's going to be what lifts us into the next fold of human evolution. Is it going to be AI that makes us immortal? Some people are saying that AI will be able to diagnose diseases simply by smell. They've got weird experiments that they're doing where AI can actually smell lung cancer on your breath at a like 1,000,000 parts per million or something like that. It's like ridiculous, but it's detecting lung cancer in people at the earliest stage that we've ever detected it. So I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
No, I mean, if it's used for good.
I just don't think it will be.
I wonder if AI can smell my disgust with Willow. Does anybody have an AI engine out there that can smell my disgust? Can I send my disgust to you in a bottle and then you can sniff it and then let me know how angry I am about this?
Go check out Willow on Disney Plus and comment down below if you like it. That'll be our assignment. Our assignment to you as the 3 people that listen to our show. Go out, watch Willow on Disney Plus. Or wherever you can get it, pirate it. I don't give a shit. I'm not your parents. Watch Willow and then comment down below and let us know. We don't advocate stealing any intellectual property at all. Here at Between the Lines, we're above the board and do not condone any kind of illegal activity.
Except if your plan is to rewrite it into a format that is more appeasing to my senses. So in that case,
let us know what you think. Give us your opinion down below on movies in general. Are all these reboots, are they a good thing? Is it something that you enjoy because of the nostalgia, or is it just because Hollywood has become lazy and uncreative and they don't have any new ideas? So what's your opinion on that? Go comment down below and let us know. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
Bye.
Bye.